Peace and blessings be upon you, literally. But I was indulging in some rabbit hole, some would say, but it's honestly not even a rabbit hole. Yes, I would consider myself a conspiracy theorist and all that, but like I'm just an informational person, very informational seeking. I just don't like to believe what everything's been proposed to me, and that goes for anything. Like, yes, I am an African American man. Yes, I am a Muslim man. Yes, I'm a young man, but I still don't want to just take the propaganda or take the information that's been presented to me. But that doesn't mean it's not true. But I just like to do my due diligence prior to just accepting things. So even within my own religion, my own faith, my own morals, my own values, my own thoughts, prior to me establishing what I claim to stand by and what I do stand by, I had to actually figure out what that was. So I love who I am. I love what I stand for, and I love my journey to even introducing me to where I am today. And faith is important. My motto is mind, body, and deen, like similar to the comprehensional standing or the saying mind, body, soul, but just interchangeable word as far as deen and soul. And deen is in reference of my religious following. Like I stated, I am a Muslim, so like following my deen or following Allah's path, subhanahu wa ta'ala, is just my purpose in life as far as faith and religious standing. But I also have a mind that God gave me, so I'm responsible for taking care of that, and so is everyone. Like mind, your body, and then your soul. So like, yeah, that's the universal motto, I would say. Or if it's not, like, that doesn't mean that you have to live by that, but definitely like understand the meaning and maybe try to adopt something and see if it's applicable to you. But first things first, a common misconception is, well, today, nowadays, information has been passed on a lot more, thank God, but it's a common misconception that Christians do not believe in Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him. Like, as a Muslim, to be a proper Muslim and follow the saying of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to believe in Jesus. Yes, his peace and blessings be upon him. You have to believe in him. So, of course, the viewpoint or the standing is different, and we understand that. Like, religion has been around since the thought of humanity, so we understand the differences. But I think in my belief, well, I know in my belief that I like to hold on to similarities like heavy, because there's so many differences. And then if you go to look for differences, and this is applicable to just everyday life, you can sit here and look for differences in your work environment, your peers, your partner, your lifestyle, your goals. Like, yeah, it's going to be a lot of differences, of course. There's 8 billion plus people in the world, tens of religions, if not hundreds, subgenres of religion. So, like, it's always going to be differences, but it's a lot of similarities too. And hold on to that tightly. Like, I'm monotheistic. Every Abrahamic religion, as far as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, are monotheistic religions. So with that being said, that's just the following of one superior God. Like, we only believe in one God. There's only one deity worthy of worship. So that alone is a similarity that I love. I love to see that maybe I was wrong. I love proving myself wrong on things that I wanted to be wrong about in the first place. Like, I was brought up a different way. I grew up in a church because my mother and my family was like that. I've been baptized. I've went to Saturday school. I've done it like Midwest, like Baptist. Like, I've been there. And even on my peers, like even to this day, my standing doesn't, I'm not promoting, some black superiority, or I'm not promoting Islamic superiority. I love who I am as a black man. I love who I am as a Muslim, but that doesn't mean that I have to push that onto somebody else. Now, what do? I feel as if, yes, my job potentially is to educate my peers. Like, God gave me such a amazing mindset. Alhamdulillah, all praise is due to the Most High for that, because He gave me everything I have. And like, I'm a smart guy. I'm a very literate man. I'm a very intelligent man. Yes, humbly speaking. But yeah, I just like to spread the information, and it just started with just like my peers and everything. It's always been like, oh yeah, you talk a lot. Oh yeah, I understand that. Especially as a younger kid, really. Like, you hear those terms, and even as an adult, it hurts. Like, what do you mean you talk a lot? You're right, I do. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to think on. Like, my brain is not comfortable with just being stagnant. I'm not comfortable with just being content and complacent with one thought process or one social standing. I'm not comfortable or complacent with just being accepting of what I've been presented. So yeah, I'm on ChatGPT. Shout out to ChatGPT, because without ChatGPT, I don't know. I think ChatGPT deserves a bachelor's degree in every major possible. So, just generally speaking. But anyways, I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, what language do Christians believe to be the language of Jesus? It says Christians generally believe that Jesus Christ primarily spoke Aramaic, although he likely knew Hebrew and possibly some Greek as well. So, number one says Aramaic was most likely his main spoken language. For those who may not know what Aramaic was a biblical prehistoric language that was set in a geographical area, Jerusalem, the modern day Middle East. Similar to, ignorantly speaking, it would be a combination of modern day Hebrew and modern day Arabic. So it's, yeah, a similarity of both languages, and of course it differs because it's its own language standalone, but it's Aramaic. So that's something that's been accepted by Christian scholars, very smart individuals that do a lot of research and read their, scholarly publishing, being the Bible. And I respect that. It's a lot of smart Christian scholars. It's a lot of smart scholars that God has created in general that decide to put their thoughts and their faith in different directions. But it's a universal understanding that the main language of Jesus, according to, in this sense, because we're speaking on solely just the biblical standpoint of the Bible, he spoke Aramaic, okay? So then I prompt ChatGPT, like, I be working ChatGPT. But I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, okay, so is it fair to assume that Jesus spoke Aramaic according to Christian belief? Yes, it's very fair to assume that Jesus Christ spoke Aramaic as his primary everyday language, according to Christianity belief and the New and Old Testament. Okay, so we're understanding that Christianity is, accepting of Jesus speaking Aramaic, and rightfully so. I agree. So I prompted it again. I said, okay, so what did Jesus greet people with when entering an area? They say most Christian scholars believe that when Jesus Christ greeted people, he likely used a greeting based on the word peace. His common greeting, according to Christian scholars, was peace be upon you. In the New Testament, Jesus often greets people with peace be upon you. That's amazing. That's similar to what I say. As a following devoted Muslim, the term Salaam Alaiykum is something that a lot of people hear, and it's generally translated to peace and blessings be upon you from Allah. And then Allah is translated to the Most High. So the general direct translation of Salaam Alaikum to Muslim individuals who speak, or if not speak, are able to recite Arabic is peace and blessings be upon you from the Most High. Okay. They say this comes from Semitic greeting based on the word peace. In Aramaic, it's Shalom Aleik. In Hebrew, it's Shalom Aleichem. So, if I'm not mistaken, it's Salam Alaikum in Arabic to modern day Muslims. In past tense Aramaic, which was the language that was thought to be spoken by Jesus Christ according to Christian scholars, and his greeting to people, according to the New Testament and Christian scholars, was Shalom Aleik, which translates to peace be upon you. And even if he spoke Hebrew, which is most likely, as they stated, a language that he understood, considering the time and the geographic location, in Hebrew, the same greeting would have been Shalom Aleichem. So the similarities is very, very unique. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I want a direct example in the Bible. I want to see what it looks like. After the resurrection, Jesus greets his disciples by saying, according to John 20:19, peace be with you. Yeah, and that alone is very, very unique. So, yeah, it's similar to, as I stated, how Muslims say, Assalamu Alaikum. Peace be upon you, excuse me. That's a beautiful thing. Brothers and sisters, I believe that there's only one, so like it's not too hard. But who am I? I'm one man who possesses one brain. Yes, I'm grateful for the knowledge God gave me, but I'm one body, one soul, one man. So I know I don't know everything, and a wise man knows he knows nothing. But it's a blessing. And Salaam Alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you and me and everybody who may see this video. So yeah, hold on to similarities, because I promise there's enough differences out there. Like, Salam Alaikum, Masalam. Have a good one, because I may or may not see you. Inshallah.